Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University.
On behalf of the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University, Ahmedabad, I welcome you to this video lecture. Today we'll be discussing Unit 3 of Paper 8, which is on types of professional writing, and Unit 3 is about news scripts, and this is the first part of Unit 3. As you know, this lecture series is for the Master of Arts students of Journalism and Mass Communication. So we'll be talking about various kinds of news scripts, basically television news scripts in today's video. So as you would be knowing, television news requires a different kind of writing because there are visuals which speaks about the event, or there are visuals there and you have to match your speech to the visuals. And of course, in an audiovisual medium, the words have a very important impact, and one must be aware of how much words to speak, which kind of words to speak, and all those kind of things in a television news script. So television news scripting is a critical element that underpins how effective news reporting on television is. So if the script is good, the news appears good, and it's the backbone of how news stories are communicated to viewers. So it blends information with visual storytelling. So there would be a visual and you have to add to the visual. In the news script, we just do not describe the visual because people can see for themselves. And unless you add to the visual, the news script is not a good script. So the script serves as the guiding narration that anchors the visual. It ensures that the news is presented coherently. Coherently means all of it makes sense, and engagingly. People have to engage with the news. And it plays a pivotal role in differentiating one news channel from another. So the differentiation amongst news channels is how the script plays out or how the news is presented. So often the style and quality of the scripting impacts viewer engagement and understanding, whether it is more conversational, whether it is more formal, whether they are using a kind of a high pitch. But that is not a part of the script, but the way the script is going to be delivered also determines how the script is going to be written. So that is a very, very crucial element, and everything is written in words before it is spoken out on television. So it's very important to understand what are the essentials of script writing for broadcast news, because as we said that broadcast news visuals are very important, and the script kind of anchors those visuals or provides a context to those visuals. And that is why the script should add to the visuals so that the readers or the viewers in this case, they find it very engaging. So a well-crafted television news script is direct. People do not have to wait to understand the clear meaning. So it's characterized by its directness. It has to be simple, because the visuals are saying a story, and when you're adding it, you have to provide that addition to the visuals, and that is why simplicity is another of the characteristics of a television news script. And it must have the ability to captivate viewers when read aloud. So when you read a script and you as a first viewer, you must see whether it is captivating or not. So these are very essential qualities to convey information clearly and to keep the audience engaged. So script writers must consider the blend of visual and non-visual elements in the stories. That's very, very important. It's not just words, but words which add to the visual, the words that complement the visual, the words that supplement, does more than the visual. So this includes determining how the narrative complements on-screen visuals, or how effectively, when visuals are absent or limited, the script adds to the information. So script writers must know how to write effectively when visuals are limited or they are absent altogether, because we know the competitive landscape of news channels. And amongst all the channels, they are vying for the eyeballs. They want viewers to come to their channel, because the revenue structure of the television industry in this case is such that if you have more viewers, you get better advertisement rates. And otherwise too, it's the job of the media to reach out to as many viewers as possible. So being popular or being accepted by a large number of people is one of the guiding principles for a news channel. So in the crowded and competitive landscape of news channels, there are hundreds of news channels in different Indian languages, for example, we come across. So even in Gujarati, there would be a number of news channels. In Bengali, there are more than a dozen news channels. So in all those languages, we have so many channels, plus there are Hindi and English channels, and there are international channels as well. So in this crowded and competitive landscape, the way news is scripted and delivered, so it's not just about writing it, the way it is delivered, it plays a crucial role in capturing the audience attention. So the script's language, how simple it is, how impactful it is, how effective it is, the tone of the script and the intonation in which it is presented are essential in distinguishing a news channel's content. So how does a channel stand out from its competitors? Through its tone and through intonation. Some of them prefer loudness, some of them prefer understated appeal, some of them have a different way of presenting information to people. So this uniqueness has to be sustained, and this unique style of scripting can make news more relatable and accessible, thus helping a channel stand out amid intense competition. So it's very important for anybody who's writing a news script to understand how to write or how to adapt scripts to the visuals, because visuals come first, or visuals are a very important part as far as television or the visual medium is concerned. So the script should add to the visuals, as we've said. So the art of news script writing involves adapting the narrative to complement available visuals. So you have a narrative, means you have decided on how to tell the story, and you have available visuals, more often videos. At times it could be still pictures, but generally it is videos. So this requires skill in visual storytelling, where the script enhances the impact of the visuals and provides context and depth to the images. So it provides context to the images, that in what does the image mean, whatever the video is played out, what is the meaning of those visuals. And the depth, the understanding of the visuals is very, very important. So adapting the script to the visual is an important part of the scripting process. And in cases where visuals are not available, and this we have spoken before as well, so there might be cases where visuals are not available. So the script must be robust enough, it must be strong enough to paint a vivid picture for the viewer. And this is very similar to radio broadcasting, where we do not have actual visuals, but through strong verbs or through strong description, we make the viewer feel as if he is watching the actual event. So that is when script writing becomes very, very important, where the visuals are not present and the script writer has to do that job. So the script's quality becomes more critical in such scenarios to maintain viewer interest and understanding, that unless the script is strong enough, it will be difficult to sustain the viewer interest, and the viewer might not even understand the story in its context. So the impact of visuals, it's immense, and we've seen, especially when it comes to the use of figures and statistics, and that's where it is very, very different from radio, for example. So a radio medium or a sound medium is not very good for presenting figures. So if I have to talk in a lot of statistics, if I have to talk about numbers, these many lakhs, these many crores, these many hundreds, these many thousand, that's where the radio does not paint a very good picture. That's where the television comes in, because through the use of graphics or through the use of pictures, it can tell a better story. So the visuals are extremely impactful, and especially when there is a promotional. So for example, when the news starts, so you might have seen that the headlines come, and the headline comes with the background music and with bigger volume and so on and so forth. But when you see the headlines, you will see the most impactful visuals of that particular story. So if it is a story of a protest, for example, the most important video clip of a few seconds will be there in the headline montage. So visuals are what drives people to the story, and we have to understand this impact when we are writing the script. So visuals are a powerful component of TV news, and we understand that it leaves a lasting impact on the audience. You might have remembered a lot of good television news stories which leave a lasting impact on the audience. So a well-written script aligns seamlessly with compelling visuals, and it can enhance the storytelling experience. It can make the storytelling experience for the audience even better. So this synergy between script and visuals takes the viewers to the heart of the story. So visuals plus script, it takes the viewer right to the middle of the story, and it often offers a first-hand experience. So that experience is something more real because you are right there in the midst of the event wherever it is happening. And this is more impactful, and research has shown that it is often more impactful than radio or the print media. So the script's role in allowing the viewer to navigate through these visuals and making the news narrative more immersive and memorable is extremely strong. The script writer has to make sure that the viewer can make sense of these visuals and can remember those visuals. So how do we craft tight and lucid scripts? Because if the script starts wandering, if it does not keep to the main story, or if it is kind of talking about things which are not relevant, then that is not a good script. So how to craft tight and lucid scripts which talk about the most important points, and it flows easily, not that every sentence comes up with a new idea. So one sentence flows from the other. That's a very important aspect of script writing. So in television news, the script must be tightly woven and lucid. Tightly woven means all the steps or all the questions must be answered, and lucid means there is a coherence for the viewer. So it flows from one step to the other, to the third, to the fourth, and so on and so forth. So this precision in script writing is vital because viewers must grasp the story on the first watch. As live television, especially when it is live television, there is no option to rewind like digital platforms. So you might go back and watch a recording, that's for later. But when people are watching it live, especially when it could be a sporting event, it could be any press conference, it could be any political rally, a speech or whatever, that's where the script or the narrative has to provide the necessary information. So a well-written TV news script guides the viewer through the narrative smoothly, leaving no room for ambiguity or confusion. And this clarity is crucial when the news is complex or involves intricate details. So the news might be involving lots of details, and that's where the script becomes very, very important, of making people help understand the meaning of the information. So the script would help people understand the complexity, to help go through these complexities without losing the idea of what the entire news is about, or without losing the core of the news. And that again is what the script writer's job is. And at the same time, since it is about journalism, the concept of objectivity and fairness is very, very important. Objectivity in the sense that it has to provide both sides of the story. It has to be as accurate as possible. The script, if it is a comment made by a person, it should come out in the script as a comment made by a person. It should not be about, it should not pass off as a real fact or as truth. So that kind of objectivity is important, and being fair to people. So if there is someone who deserves more time because the news demands that that person or that organization needs to explain a particular thing in greater details, that has to be there through the script. So objectivity and fairness are foundational in news script writing. So the script must present the news unbiasedly and without the writer's personal opinions. And he must ensure that the reporting is balanced and factual. So rigorous due diligence is required in every step of script writing, and this includes researching facts to choose which language or what kind of language, because even if it is English, so whether it's conversational, racy, or something with strong verbs or whatever, so what kind of language would accurately represent the story. So the goal is to deliver news that is trustworthy and devoid of misinterpretation. So this is a very important part, or this is a very important thing to understand, that news is written for an audience. Even television news is produced for a particular audience. So whatever we are preparing, whether it's a print media output or a television news script, the audience considerations are paramount, because we must be very clear about who our target audience is, what are their likes and dislikes, what are the things that they are comfortable with, or what is the level of their understanding. And keeping those considerations in mind, or keeping those considerations of the average viewer in mind, we have to carry on with the script writing. So understanding the audience demographic is crucial in scripting for television news. Knowing the viewer's backgrounds, interests, and preferences can help in tailoring the news presentation to resonate more effectively with the audience. While the news content should remain factual and unaltered, the way it is presented in the script can be adjusted to ensure it is comprehensible and relevant to the audience without compromising the integrity of the news. So once we are script writing, we have to visualize the news. So what is the thing that we want to say through this particular news item. So a key skill for a television news script writer is the ability to visualize how the news will be presented on the screen. So when you're writing the script, you're visualizing this is what will appear on the screen, and when you can visualize, or when you can imagine how it will be presented on the screen, then the crafting the script becomes better, and you will have to align with the visual elements of the story and how you see it appears on the screen when it is read out, or when the news item is being created. So the script should underscore the video content. It should provide context and narrative that complements the visuals. And this synergy between script and video, is crucial for engaging the audience and making the news story more impactful. You engage the audience through the synergy between the news and through the synergy between script and video. And this is something that I've repeated more than once in today's lecture, that this synergy between what appears on the screen and the words that accompany what appears on the screen is very, very important for a script writer, because that is what engages the audience. That is what the audience finds interesting, and that is what will make the news story more impactful. Because the reason why the news is being played out, or the reason why the news is being created, is that we want it to be impactful, we want it to be useful for the audience. And this is where the role of technology comes in, and technology is a very important inherent part of newsroom, especially with multi-camera setups and with all the visuals and with all the tickers and all those kind of things. So even while scripting, we must be very clear about the role of technology in these newsrooms. So these technological advancements have revolutionized newsrooms operations, and they enhance the efficiency and effectiveness of news production. Because of these technological inputs, it has been seen that news production is more efficient and more effective, and modern newsrooms are fully computerized. So everything, right from the scripting to the final presentation is on the computers, and that these days this is regarded more as a given. So these are fully computerized, which allows for seamless integration of various aspects of news production, from scripting to broadcasting. So technology enables scripts to be written, edited, approved, and directly queued to the teleprompter. So whatever the script is written or after edited, it's been approved by the editor or whoever is responsible, then it is queued right up onto the teleprompter. So whoever is reading it, you can just see on the teleprompter what is going on. So this streamlines the entire process. So this integration of technology facilitates a more dynamic and responsive news production environment, adapting quickly to breaking news. So whenever there is a breaking news, the script is ready, everything is ready, and it is right there for the viewers. And even updates. So when there are updates, it's available to the viewers right at that very moment. So remote reporting and digital advancements. So at times the reporter might be not present on the spot, he might be in some other place. And how is digital technology relevant in this particular case? So the advent of digital technologies has transformed the way news is reported, and this enables broadcast journalists to film, to edit and transmit content from remote locations directly to the newsroom. So through this information and communication technology, you can directly transmit content from wherever you are to the newsroom. So this has significantly expanded the scope and immediacy of news coverage. You need not come to the studio to record or provide an edited version. You can just send it directly. So these technological advancements have made the reporter's physical presence in the newsroom less critical. You need not be present in the newsroom. You can send all that information through the technology. So reporters can now deliver news scripts and accompanying videos directly to the producers' desks, because even video is available in this digital format, and it can be very easily delivered in that digital format right to the producer. And this facilitates faster and more efficient news broadcasting. So this urgency of live broadcasting is very important, because television by nature is about immediacy. It is about reporting things as they happen, and it's about the liveness, because television provides the liveness of a thing. Whenever we get to see anything on the mobile phone, say for example, maybe a cricket match or maybe some political comments being made or whatever, we immediately switch on the television to see the live events. So this live broadcasting is the bread and butter for news, or it's the most important staple diet for television news. So as script writers, we need to be aware of that. So live broadcasting has brought a sense of urgency and immediacy to television news, making it a powerful medium for delivering real-time updates. And the ability to broadcast live has fundamentally changed how news is presented, with a constant emphasis on speed and frequency. So television news channels often have the advantage of being the first to break news, contrasting with the inherent delay in print journalism. So this places greater emphasis on frequent deadlines and rapid news script development. So you have newer and newer deadlines, and the script has to be developed fast, keeping in mind all the requirements, because if it's a live broadcast or if it is something which is reported very quickly, the script writer also has to keep up with this kind of a pace. Let's very quickly go through the evolution of television in India. So television of India has undergone a significant evolution, starting from a single channel in 1959, which focused mainly on educational and agricultural programming. And we know about the satellite instructional television experiment and so on and so forth. In 1982, with the Asiad came color television, and then we've had all those satellite channels, and in the 90s we had the liberalization of television content. So this marked the beginning of private enterprises entering sports and entertainment broadcasting. So the transition from government controlled news dissemination to private news channel has been gradual, and it has been impactful. Many of you would remember the World This Week, which used to be broadcast on Doordarshan once upon a time. So that was one of the new ways of presenting news to the vast landscape of India. So what are the tips for writing effective news scripts? So effective news scripts require collaboration and deep understanding of the visual media. This is not like scripting for other media. So deep understanding of the visual medium is required. The script should be written with a clear vision of how it will translate on screen. So whatever is being written, how it will be seen on the screen. So you have to consider timing, the visuals, and the overall narrative flow. So the speed of the script has to match with all that. And in the fast-paced environment of a television newsroom, teamwork is essential. So journalists, editors, camera operators, technicians, they all work together to develop stories that are timely, relevant, and compelling. So the collaborative nature of this process is crucial to the successful delivery of news. So what is the structure and staffing of the newsrooms? So it varies based on the size and scope of the channel, but typically it includes journalists, it includes editors, it includes camera operators, graphic designers, and other technical staff. And there are television producers, and there are output editors and input editors, and every channel based on its size and scope has these kinds of staffers there. So each member plays a very crucial role in the news production process. So the workflow in a newsroom is dynamic, with journalist pitching stories, editor determining newsworthiness, whether those stories are good enough to be broadcast or not, and technical teams ensuring the seamless broadcast of the news. So the journalist comes and says that this is important news, the editor determines whether it is good enough. Then the technical team has to work together to bring everything together, the script, the visuals, and everything, so that it is broadcast to the audience in the best possible manner. So this collaborative environment is vital for the effective and efficient production of television news. So as we have seen, television news is a very important structure, and there are certain things that we must keep in mind always. First of all, about the audience. The audience is there for news for a short amount of time. And generally these news articles or these news clips are about 1.5 minutes. So within 1.5 minutes you have to play out the visual, and there might be a sound bite, there might be an interview of the person concerned, there might be other things, and then there is a voice over, maybe of the reporter himself or herself talking about the news. So the script is the voice over that the reporter or maybe at the Times presenter is playing out, and then the anchor, the news anchor, adds to that. So all these things have to go together, because especially when you're talking to an audience which is there to get information, you have to make sure that you provide the best possible information in the simplest possible way. Because if the information is not simple, if the information is something that is complex or it is layered, then people will not make sense of it. So it has to be simple enough. It has to use strong verbs. So unlike in print where we can have long sentences, broadcast has to have shorter sentences. Most often it has to be in the active voice, because we must know who's doing, what is being done, and what is the output. So all these things are extremely important to understand, and once you understand the requirements of the medium, you get better with your communication skills. Thanks for watching, friends. This was Unit 3 of Paper 8 of this online course in MA in Journalism and Mass Communication. We are talking of news script today, and I am speaking from the Chaitanya studio here in Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University here in Ahmedabad. Thank you very much.